Hello and welcome to the Raptors Reaction Podcast, brought to you by Goldfinger Personal Injury Law. I'm your host, William Liu, and joining me to dissect yet another Game 1 loss are the two grandfathers of Raptors Republic, Zarar and Sam. How you guys doing?
I'm good. For the record, Sam's older.
I'm much older, and I'm better looking.
That's debatable.
And taller.
He's taller.
I'm definitely taller.
He's definitely taller.
Okay, yeah, so the Raptors, we got smacked. We got smacked in Game 1. I mean, this final score doesn't really reflect on how badly the Raptors got smacked, because the Raptors lost 116 to 105 at the Quicken Loans Arena in Game 1 to fall down 0-1 in the series against Cleveland. I feel like the game will be best described in the sense that the Cavs just spent the whole time trying to make, like, SportsCenter highlights. They weren't even interested in playing basketball because they knew they were going to win. They just tried to do disrespectful stuff, which was, honestly, if I were a casual NBA fan, I would have appreciated that, because otherwise it was just ugly basketball all around. So, Zarar, I'll start with you. Is this the result you expected?
Well, I think the disrespectful stuff, I don't know how disrespectful it really was for LeBron to actually have a beer during the game.
He had a beer during the game.
He actually had a beer during the game. I'm not joking. He actually grabbed like a Bud Light or whatever Americans drink, popped it open, and had a beer on the court. This actually happened. So leaving that aside, which is awesome if you're not a Raptor fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, and it's, continue doing more of it. If you're a Cavs fan, you're loving it, blah, blah. Now, for this game, it looked like we didn't even belong on the court, right? It wasn't, the gulf in talent, in everything between the two teams was so evident pretty much from the start that I almost regretted paying $220 for Game 4 tickets after the first quarter. I was like, what did I just pay for? Like, this series, that Game 4 is set to be the elimination game, the way things stand. Because I think Cleveland hit, 16 threes in this game? How many did they hit? 14 threes in this game, right?
14. So
we knew coming in that our biggest problem with Cleveland is going to be defending the three-point shot. And despite knowing all that, we still allowed them to hit 14 threes, and never at any point during the four quarters did we look like we were able to get, like we were going to get, say, 3 or 4 consecutive stops to get us back into the game. We got back into the game because, as Will said, the Cavs just started playing, flashy Showtime Lakers basketball, and while doing that, they made a few mistakes and let us come back in just a little bit, kind of give us the old, just a little tease, but nothing much really. So we were really at the mercy of the Cavs throughout the 48 minutes, and it really felt like we're playing, a team that's several tiers above us, not just one tier. And that's what it felt like. And somebody posted it on Twitter or on the comment section. Let's just blow this team up until LeBron retires, and there's some truth to that.
Sam?
you could say that everybody in the East can say that, though, right? I think what was glaring for me is we've been trying the exact same things against this Cavs team for, what is this? This is 7 games in a row. And it took 2 monumental games from Lowry and DeRozan last year to get those 2 wins. And it's just like we're expecting a different result. They came out, they looked a little bit flat. JV gets a lot of run. Carroll gets a lot of run. The things that made the team successful in games 5 and 6 against the Milwaukee Bucks, we didn't go to until the second half. When it was a little too late, and we expected a different result. It was really disappointing. I'm very disappointed.
Hey,
but I mean, on top of that though, like, the Cavs played really, really well. So
oh my God, they're passing.
The passing, at one point they had 20 assists on 26 made field goals. They were moving the ball around. It was just ridiculous, right? Coming into this game, it was like, okay, they haven't played for a week. They didn't look that great against the Cavs. Against the Pacers. Can they turn it up a notch? And, do they have that switch to go from, good to great? And, today it looked like they did.
Zarar, what were you going to say, man?
Well, I was going to actually get on to Patrick Patterson.
Oh, okay, wait, hold on.
But before we get there, I fully agree that have we, throughout this postseason, the 6 games against Milwaukee and now the one against Cleveland, Will, how many good defensive quarters do you think we've put in? Like, you could say, you know what, that's a good quarter defensively by the Raptors. They really held their own. They denied the opposition. They came out on top because of their defense. How many do you count? Honest question to both of you. Because personally, I can count maybe 1 or 2. The second quarter in Game 6 was good. Yep. And maybe one of the quarters in Game 2 was good. Other than that, it was essentially the Raptors playing up and down against Milwaukee, who are good at it, but not great at it, except Cleveland is amazing at it. So when you apply the same formula in the context of Cleveland, you're going to get blown out, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I thought, look, Game 4 against the Bucks was really good. Like, didn't they held the Bucks to like 75 points in Game 4, or 76 points in Game 4, so that was good. But, I mean, the defense...
Game 5, wasn't it?
No, it was Game 4, the second one on the road against the Bucks. Yeah, after they got shelled in Game 3. But, yeah, look, defensively, part of it is just, look, what are you really going to do, right? Look, the Raptors' defense was not good at all. It felt like the Cavaliers didn't feel the Raptors at all on defense, and I'm sure Dwayne Casey would save some iteration of this in his post-game interview. But the Raptors just didn't make any dent towards what Cleveland wanted to do. Cleveland, whatever the shot they wanted, they could have got that shot tonight. And part of that is, you got to play better on defense. You got to play better lineups on defense. And when you do play better lineups, they got to communicate better. A couple of times they've had communication breakdowns. But also, it's just, man, what are you supposed to do against LeBron and shooters? Like, what are you supposed to do?
How about you don't start Valanciunas? How about that?
Yeah, well.
How about we start there? How about we start with the decision to start Valanciunas against a team that he has no business running against? Maybe you bring in someone like Powell to start him in his place. Like he did in Game 5 against the Bucks, immediately changed the complexion of the game. Casey didn't put this team in a position to succeed at all. This is the standard Casey starting lineup. There's no imagination. It didn't feel like he was even trying here. That's just me. Like, tell me if I'm off. I'm completely off.
I agree with you, but let's just play this through a little bit, right?
Okay.
I'm guessing you're advocating for Norman Powell to start, like the rest of them.
Anything. Let's try something else. Like, anything.
So you essentially want JV out, but do you want Norm in? Because that's the key.
Obviously, Norm.
Well, it's not so obvious, right? Because if you get Norm in, he has to guard either one of Tristan Thompson or Kevin Love. Is that correct or not?
Yeah, he's guarding Love. He's guarding Love.
So do you think that's okay?
If the Cavs want to dump the ball to Love in the post every single time, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I take that.
I'd rather have that than, like, here's the thing. Jonas is playing because, one, he only has one defensive matchup in this series, and that's Tristan Thompson. That's it. And I felt like Tristan Thompson still got his points kind of easily, to be honest.
Way too easily.
But also, like, you need Jonas in there for rebounding, right? And that's fine. But if you need to worry about your point of defense first before rebounding, because, like, if they're getting good shots and they're getting wide open shots, then it doesn't really matter what your rebounding is, right? Like, that's the Warriors strategy.
Yeah, you stop the ball first. That's point number one. Any defense, you have to stop the ball first. If they want to slow it down and grind it out with Kevin Love in the post, take that every day.
So I disagree with starting JV, obviously, because why would you go back to something that you struggled with for the first 3 games of the Milwaukee series and come back against a team that's better at doing what Milwaukee does just because they have Tristan Thompson, right? I get that. To Casey's credit, or to the game plan's credit, when they did start JV, they did try to involve him in the offense early on. It's not that like they started him for the sake of it. They started him and they fed him the ball to see what he could do. And I can tell you, man, for the first 5 possessions they gave it to him, he looked lost. Like, he looked like he was wearing blindfolds and was wearing wooden shoes on slippery floors. Like, that's how he looked.
Mm-hmm.
And that experiment should have ended after about 3 or 4 minutes at the most. Unfortunately for the Raptors, that's all it takes for Cleveland to get a 10-point lead, and you're playing catch-up. And when you're playing catch-up for that long, you just run out of gas, man, especially on the road. There's no way you're going to come back, from 15 down on the road, 16 down on the road because you've been playing catch-up all game long against a team that's rested. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. So why do we have to even play that back, right? Like, this comes back to the preparation. One of us, maybe me, talked about to start this pod, right? Like, this is their this is their calling card. Who cares? Even if he hit 4 baskets in a row, what does that do? When they come back and it's pass, kick, swing, 3, and JV's sitting there scratching his ass.
Yeah, that's the thing though. My question is what is Jonas's role in the series at all? Seriously, he can't play against the starters. He can't play against the bench. It's just defensively, it's bad, right? Not only is his defense at 5 a target for the Cavs pick and roll, and go back and watch some highlights, man. Just what is it? The Zemo Pimento, whatever guy is on YouTube. He makes 10-minute highlight video compilations of all the baskets. Just go watch that and watch how often the Cavaliers just targeted JV in the pick and roll. If that's the start of their sequence, something breaks down. He can't rotate and it's over. So look, not only is Jonas not necessarily producing on defense, but he's not even producing on offense to justify any of this, right? We saw him try to post up Tristan Thompson. Zarar said, man, it looked like he was just clueless. He just he was slipping, falling over, dumping the ball back, holding the ball. I mean, what the Raptors need him to do is not necessarily post up and dominate. They just need him to be a short roll option. You know what I mean? Because the Cavaliers, even though they're not that aggressive of a defense, but they are aggressively trapping Lowry and DeRozan off high screens, which we've seen against in every single goddamn playoff series. All Jonas needs to do is roll to the right spot to get the little pass and then play in a 4-on-3 situation to break that. But Jonas can't do that. He just can't.
But that's offensively, Will. I get it. I think to Sam's point, what if you have 4 successful offensive possessions because of Jonas? I think in the long run, it doesn't mean anything because with him on the court, you cannot defend Cleveland. Because Cleveland, what they do is 100% they will bring him out. They will set a pick using his man beyond the 3-point line and turn the corner, and then all bets are off. And then you got shooters everywhere, and now you're scrambling. You're scrambling to the point where you're bumping into your own players trying to close out. Yeah. I think I counted 3 situations where we ran into our own players because there was so much movement on the floor that you didn't know who to defend. Now, here's the good news, guys. There's some good news in this game.
What?
Please.
There is. Cleveland had 39 field goals. The Raptors had 39 field goals.
What? Oh, I thought you were actually going to point out a positive in this game.
That's kind of a positive. That's kind of a positive. Here's another positive.
You're pulling like a Leo here. What's going on?
We got good shots in this game.
That's because wait, hold on. That's because the Cavs didn't even care to play defense. I felt
yeah.
The Cavs defense also just sucks, period. But I felt like the Cavs didn't even want to play defense, man. They just left their guys wide open.
Do you think the Cavs are playing good defense in the first quarter?
In the first quarter, yes. They came out with a lot more energy than the Raptors.
Do you think that we got good shots in the first quarter?
No, in the first quarter, no.
I thought we got good shots in the quarter, man. I just think we missed them. Patrick Patterson, God bless his soul.
God, yeah.
Who, he would rather touch.
No, stop.
Okay.
Stop. No. Move on to anyone else. He's garbage. I don't want to talk about him.
Because he's the guy who missed all the good looks I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's my main point.
If I'm wide open behind the 3-point line in an NBA game, Sam, and I take that shot, it's not a good shot.
He's my star witness in the case I'm trying to make, dude. Patrick Patterson is my guy. He got at least 4 clean looks in the first half, which he bombed. And those are the 4 clean looks that Cleveland hit. So if you go by the theory, were our offensive players in the right position at the right place to hit the shots? I would argue that they were, except the fact that Patrick Patterson just did not make his wide open looks, and guys like Kevin Love or whoever you want to pay, Shumpert,
every single game. The wrong person was in the right spot to take the right shot for the wrong guy. If that made any sense at all.
Who's the wrong? Is Patrick Patterson the wrong person to take a corner 3?
He's garbage, man. I can't even. He misses way more shots than he makes, and he misses way more important shots than he makes.
Yo, it is crazy how painful it is to watch Patrick Patterson miss these shots too, because that's the whole point of the offense is to get to a point where he's wide open in the corner, and it's not like, okay, DeMar missed a pull-up jump or whatever, because it's like DeMar made that, right? Someone else made everything for him. He's like baking with a child, really. You know what I mean? You prepare all the ingredients and stuff, and at the very end, your kid drops a whole stick of butter in it, and it just ruins everything. That's where Patrick Patterson is right now, man.
Channing Frye hits all those shots that Patterson misses. Every single one.
Yeah, and look, this is the concerted effort by the Cavaliers. Like they're gonna double off these screenplays off Lowry and off DeRozan, and quite honestly, Lowry had a pretty decent game all around. DeRozan, he got his offense individually, but he was so bad defensively. It was almost JV-esque. But look, they're gonna make other guys beat them, and Ibaka stepped up for a bit in the second quarter. He was red hot. You know, Tucker I thought was pretty decent. I know he says 1 of 4 from 3 for Tucker, but he made like 3 threes with a foot on the line.
Yeah.
But it's guys like Patterson, it's guys like Valanciunas, it's guys like Carroll even, who have to perform and give you scoring at a somewhat consistent rate, and it's just not going to happen, man. It's just not. That's also where you need Norm, man.
At what point? Do we just say Carroll is the sunk cost? Like we a lot of people mentioned this through the last year and a half, but like he gave us 0. He grabbed a couple boards that anyone could have grabbed. They fell in his lap.
Wow.
He hit one. No, what? He went out of his way to grab a board. The guy's immobile.
I'm not defending Carroll at all. I mean, yeah, I do agree he's a sunk cost.
I'm just saying, like his minutes could have been allocated elsewhere.
Okay, so there's a couple points on Carroll that we got to make. So,
please,
he actually hit his first 3, and then got replaced by Patterson very early in the first, which didn't make sense to me because he had just hit a 3, and we're like, oh, Carroll might have a good game here. Maybe he'll have one of his, 1 in 10 good games that he has. This might be it. And he got benched, which made no sense. And Patrick Patterson came in and he proceeded to, bomb everything. So that didn't make sense. But Sam, now is not the time to wonder whether Carroll's a sunk cost or not. He's your guy, and you have to play him in stretches to deal with LeBron James. You can't not play him and in round 2 of the playoffs and say that's an off-season decision you got to make on what you want to do with him. But right now, if you bench him, you're going to give Powell more time, which is fine. But I don't think you're going to give Powell, 40 minutes a night here. You got to play Carroll.
Powell played 20 minutes.
And I'm saying
mostly in the fourth.
What I'm saying is, if Powell even played, maybe I'm wrong, but if Powell played 30 minutes in this game, I don't think the outcome would have been different. I think the problem here was that the Raptors wasted a lot of possessions. They committed a lot of unforced turnovers when they were trying to make runs. Their key players, their 3-point shooters, missed 3-point shots. And generally, defensively, they're a bad team. The Raptors defensively are a bad team. I think.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. What did you see on defense today that makes you think that they're a good team?
Oh, yeah, today, no, they didn't play good defense today. But the Raptors, look, they have guys that can play defense.
Individually, but cohesively, I don't think. In this series, I don't think over the last 7 games of Raptors versus Cavs, I've seen any evidence that the Raptors can actually contain the Cavs for even a prolonged stretch. And by prolonged, I mean like a 7 to 8 minute stretch where they can contain the Cavs. I just have not seen it.
It's hard to argue with that, man.
Did you guys listen to Bill Simmons' pod today, or was it from last night?
No.
What did he say?
So I was listening to it on the way home from work, and what he was saying is the Raptors, what they need to do is just play a little bit tougher. You don't double LeBron, you don't send the extra defender, but there's a firm no layup rule. And when he gets to the rim, you put him on the line every single time. You let him beat you from the free throw line. You use every single foul that Patterson, that Valanciunas, that whoever has, and just keep hitting them. And start that from game run and play a different game. Just play grindy game where it slows down the pace and it makes LeBron have to put up like 60 points.
I mean, I think that's fine in theory, but like we saw that even last year. Remember how much Biyombo hard fouled LeBron? You know what I mean?
It was a couple times though, no, but hard. Like there's the defenders on this team between Ibaka, between Tucker. We got big, strong, mobile people who can move around, make life just a teensy bit hard for him at the rim, and we have a lot of fouls to throw around.
I think Sam's got a point here. Not necessarily.
That might have been completely interesting rather than come out and try to outscore them and outrun them.
I think
whatever you want to do with Valanciunas.
Let's go fact-based here. The one thing we know for sure, like proven over 7 games in a playoff series, in a playoff run, is that when LeBron is passing the ball to his 3-point shooters, we cannot stop Cleveland. it's untenable for us to actually defend Cleveland when LeBron is being double teamed and he's picking off shooters left and right, especially in transition. Do you guys agree with that? That we can't defend that?
No, we can't defend the whole offense as a whole. We need to isolate something.
So
keep it contained.
I think what Sam is saying, I think, is do not send help to LeBron at all. Is that what you're saying, Sam?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And hit him when he gets to the rim.
Yeah, well, that part is easier said than done because players are already protected now. But I totally get it. I think it might be something different than what we've already done with the Cavs. I'm all for it. If you want to put DeMario Carroll or you want to put Siakam or somebody like that on LeBron and just pick up the fouls and let him go 21 for 23 from the free throw line, no picking off Channing Frye or J.R. Smith or whoever these guys in the corner, I think that might be a good strategy that is worth trying. Because what we do know is that our current strategy of doubling him is not paying off at all. And their strategy of doubling DeRozan and making our role players beat them is working out for them. It's almost like the flip, right? It's like I would suggest changing something early in the series and not waiting till Game 4.
Yeah. It'd be great if we came into the series with some kind of, innovation. It'd be great.
Operation.
It would be great. But, no, we are a reactive team as a whole. Yeah. We even went back to the Valanciunas in the starting lineup. Yeah. I mean, look, we harped on that a lot, but it's not only on Valanciunas. It was a garbage performance of the Raptors tonight. They lost in the first quarter again.
What did you guys think of Ibaka's shot selection at times in this game?
He's a bit of a black hole offensively.
He doesn't pass. But
yeah.
He doesn't pass, but, generally speaking, I want him to stay aggressive. You know what I mean? When he got hot in the second quarter, that was good. That was good when the Raptors made a run. I mean, look, the only time the Raptors looked competitive was when they went small, and they went to Lowry at the point. And that lineup made a run in the second quarter, and it made a run a little bit in the third quarter. But quite honestly, it didn't really matter. But I mean,
his elbow jumpers, which are contested, and he steps back on them.
Yeah, we don't need those.
No, we do not. I think there's at least 3 of them in this game, and we don't need any of them. He tried that against Milwaukee. He was 1 for 6 in those situations. Do not need that. Cut that shit out, man. That's a wasted possession. That's as good as a turnover for me.
Yeah. But I mean, look, we need Ibaka to consistently be that pick and pop kind of guy. And if we play him at center, I think we might even be able to, have Ibaka be more of a presence down low as well. Because Ibaka didn't really try to go in physically. I mean, one time he tried to go for a dunk, and I think he got, I don't know, man, he missed the dunk or whatever. But, it'd be great if Ibaka could also mix it up a little bit in the paint. But you just need a consistent third option. And that's why I feel look, you need Norm in there, man, as someone who can attack off the ball. Because, again, the Raptors going to be in these 4-on-3 situations. And if Jonas isn't cutting it offensively, we definitely know he's not cutting it defensively. So it's the same scenario where we went with the Bucks, obviously.
See, my issue with the Jonas thing, man, is that I'm all for taking him out. It's just that the Cavs are very aggressive on the offensive glass, especially Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
And if you're asking, say, Ibaka to guard him, and he has no help, the other big guy on the court is Patterson or even worse, Carroll. It's sticky, man. It's a sticky situation where you might be conceding a lot of offensive rebounds. So I can not that I agree with it, but I can at least see Dwayne Casey's point in sticking JB in there because maybe he was fearful of just getting overrun on the offensive glass.
Yeah. Well, what the Raptors need is someone like Tristan Thompson at center.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't have him. We have Bebe.
Nah, Bebe was inactive, man. We had Pascal Siakam.
I would actually say, Sam, jumping on this one, man.
No.
Siakam, does he have a role in the series or no?
What?
Does Pascal Siakam have a role? Sam's gone. I think Sam has left the building. He just.
Sorry, I was on mute. I was sighing.
Okay.
I was sighing and face palming. He's got a role in garbage time. Is what he has.
Okay. Oh, okay.
What about Pirtle then? What about Pirtle?
Pirtle played damn hard down the stretch. He got a block. He grabbed the rebound, the putback.
It was a hard 3 minutes, man.
Hard 3 minutes, plus 9 in 3 minutes.
Plus Dante Jones. He got Dante Jones ejected.
Yep.
Hey, seriously, any you guys surprised that DeLon Wright didn't get any run here, any meaningful run in this game after having a pretty good Milwaukee series? I thought he was a guy who could potentially help out Lowry in defending Irving a little bit. I thought Joseph had a couple of good defensive possessions, but not enough consistent pressure on people other than the guy he's guarding. He is, as we've discovered over the last year and a half, he is not tremendously great at switching over and defending a 2 or a 3 in those crossfit situations. He's good at pressuring his own man and maybe making it difficult to bring the ball up the court and so on. But I think DeLon Wright is a better option if you want to deploy that sort of defensive scheme. And offensively, I honestly think that they're giving you about the same right now.
Yeah.
I felt about right. Wright's a better defender.
Wright's a better.
Well, not a better defender.
He's a better passer.
He's a better passer. He's long. He's quick. It's a different look, right? You can go to young energy guys to make some run. Like he was a plus 14 in 8 minutes.
Yeah, those pluses you can safely ignore.
I know, sure.
Time.
I understand. But he was hustling, man. Like he gets into the paint. He makes moves. Even Pirtle, like, try something a little bit different. Spot stuff.
My God, this is looking like a 5-game series, man.
Four.
At this point, it looks like the crowd might get us one.
Yo, honestly, it looks a lot like last year. Like, I think that's my thing, right? Like, this is kind of how we felt last year as well, right? It looked like it was going to be a sweep. The Cavaliers kind of switched off. They kind of conceded Game 5, or Game 3, in Toronto, and then they tried to win Game 4. The Raptors had a crazy scoring outburst, and it was all of a sudden 2-2, but ultimately the Raptors lost the series by 100 points, and they they really lost a 6-game series by like 100+ points. All right, look, it's moot, but let's do the 3 stars, because we have to do the 3 stars. So, Zarar, give me the first star.
Hey, can I get a quote from? I don't know if you guys read the series preview which our writers put together, which was always a very, very good read. And I think our man Andrew Thompson,
right,
we haven't talked to in a long time,
yep,
had a little blurb which I want to read out. And he goes, "Saying that you're better prepared to contain LeBron James is like saying you're better prepared to survive skydiving without a parachute because this time you brought a golf umbrella."
Nice.
And that golf umbrella is Serge Ibaka.
Yep. Oh, by the way, shout out to Dwayne Casey for saying, someone asked him about the Raptors getting dominated, and he said, I don't think someone dominated us. I wouldn't use that word. Really, Dwayne? You didn't think you got dominated?
Alternative fact.
LeBron was out here drinking Bud Light in the third quarter, and you didn't get dominated.
Hey, did you guys? I was watching the TNT feed, and are you watching that Charles Barkley commercial, man, Sam?
Oh no, I'm watching stream online, but I had the TNT feed.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get the commercial. Yeah.
You got to go check it out. I like the way he goes. We're gonna have dialogue.
It's terrible, Kenny. It's terrible.
All right. Let's
3 stars.
3 stars. Zarar, you give me the first star. Sam, give me the second star. I'll get the third star. So Zarar,
do these have to be Raptor players?
Yes.
Wow.
Come on, man. I mean, what do we want? Get LeBron the number 1 star, Kyrie the number 2 star, Lowry the third star. Like, no.
I think a game like this, we have to reverse the stars, man. We have to go with who was the shittiest player,
okay,
the
fine,
second least shittiest, and the third least shittiest.
Oh, this is good.
So I'll give you the I'll give you the most shittiest. I'll start there. I'll go with Patrick Patterson, who would rather handle a live grenade which is about to go off than touch the basketball.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Sam, who's the second moon?
Second moon.
Yeah.
I already took Patterson, buddy. You got to go with somebody else.
Yeah, I got to go with Valanciunas. He looked a little bit lost on his defensive assignments. He didn't rotate very well. They were flexing some sort of zone, and I think it was in the second or third period. He was kind of just like, He didn't rotate when I think it was, who was it? LeBron was going baseline, and the wing defender had to come across. It was just, Valanciunas for me.
All right. In terms of the third moon, it's weird, but I'm gonna give it to DeRozan only for his defense. The defense by DeRozan was just
Can you explain that a little further? Yeah. What do you see in his defense that was worse than, say, I don't know, anybody else's?
Anybody else?
No, that's a good point. Look, no, DeRozan just kind of played lackadaisical defense, kind of like almost as if he were on the Cavaliers tonight. Like I remember one possession where he's guarding LeBron in the post and he just like lets the man spin baseline really easily and just a dunk. A lot of just missed rotations. If you force DeRozan to make a lot of rotations, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Raptors defense. And with the way the Cavs were passing the ball tonight, the Raptors often had to make like 2 or 3 series of rotations. And DeRozan just ultimately became the guy who broke down on a lot of those sequences. So it's not like exceptionally worse than everyone else. But, you know, it wasn't there. I don't know, man. Who would you give the third moon to? Like, it feels mean to give it to like Joseph or whatever.
No.
Like Tucker was decent. Like Carroll, I mean, you can't even give Carroll a moon. Like 3 points is pretty good for Carroll.
I think you made the DeRozan point.
I find that the Cavaliers, for whatever reason, it feels like they have to make one less pass than any other team to get an open three. You know, like
that's LeBron, baby.
Milwaukee has to swing the ball around the perimeter and get to Dellavedova at some point. There's a sequence of passes that lead to an open shot. With Cleveland, it just feels like they get to their open shot relatively quickly, like one pass less. It goes from LeBron to straight in the corner. It doesn't go from LeBron to back out and then around the horn in the corner. Mm-hmm. There's something about their offense that forces the Raptors to think even more quickly than what they would against any other team. It's just my own. I don't know if there's some analytical statistic that tracks how many passes led to a shot, but I can guarantee you for Cleveland it's going to be less than most other teams.
Yeah, man, it's LeBron in the middle of the floor. The guy, when you first of all, if you're in the middle of the floor, you can make everyone is one pass away. And then second of all, if you have someone who's 6'8", who can handle the ball and obviously who's got tremendous vision and can make literally any pass with either hand, like it's tough. Like yeah, it's a good point. Like they do kind of just cut to the chase. Like if LeBron kicks to the corner and someone really closes out, they just swing it back to the guy who's like at the wing from that corner and they just shoot that shot instead.
Anybody see Patrick Patterson assist Kyle Korver?
Oh my God, yeah. Patterson blocked
the one big
Kyrie.
play he had.
The one good play he had led to an opposition 3.
God. Didn't even bounce.
Yeah, it was like a perfect pass.
Just slapped him right to him. Yeah.
Well, guys.
Hey, aren't we going to the Gerald Henderson thing?
Yeah, let's do the Gerald Henderson thing. So
Darren Williams.
What Darren Williams.
What did Darren Williams do?
Yeah.
I felt like he held his own against Lowry, against whoever was matched up against him. His box line doesn't look that impressive. I felt like his impact was a lot larger. He looked spry off the bounce. He looked, I don't know, he looked like this was like 2010.
Can we talk about some adjustments going into Game 2, man? Like, there's got to be something we can change heading into Game 2 that can give us, if not the edge, but at least give us a better chance.
JV off the bench?
I think that's 100%. I think we got to go back. It's lunacy to revert to what did not work again. So I agree with that one. Will, what do you think? Anything else?
I think you start your best defenders. And it sounds kind of controversial, but I would put one of Tucker or Patterson in the starting lineup instead of Jonas. And look, Patterson, yeah, obviously it's not a popular decision to put Patterson in the starting lineup, but like, what are you gonna do, man? Just put out your best defenders, especially your people who will play with energy. Like, it's kind of like what Zarar was saying with the Bucks series. Like, you can't constantly lose these games in the first quarter. Like, you can't always have the other team come up with more energy, more consistency. And, if you have Patterson in the starting lineup, obviously he has to make shots, just as you would if you put him with any other lineup. But, man, at least Patterson can defend. So put Patterson out there. I would start Ibaka, Patterson at 4, Carroll at 3, DeRozan, and then Lowry. And hopefully that's enough.
I would also say don't compete for the offensive rebounds in the first quarter. Don't even do it.
Yep.
Just shot goes up, go back. The last thing you want is to get blown out and run down in the first quarter. Don't worry about the offensive rebound. Worry about that after the 7-8 minute mark. Maybe then you can try going at it. But initially, don't. Because if you are caught in any sort of 4-on-3, 3-on-2 situation, the Cavs are too good. They're going to capitalize every time, and you don't want that. So forget the offensive rebound. Just get back. This is especially for guys like Carroll who kind of cheat in for the offensive rebound. They take that one step forward just in case the ball might bounce to them. And in that one step, they concede essentially 10 yards because the ball moves faster than the man. So one pass and you're out of the play. So that's a small adjustment I would look at. I think I agree with the whole benching JV, starting anybody else instead of him. I like Sam's idea of not doubling LeBron and just living with him scoring 45, just because we haven't really tried that strategy at all, and it's time to try it. And it does not make sense because I think Cleveland has proven their 3-point shooters can just bang them in.
Yeah. Well, that does it for the show. Thanks again to our sponsor, Goldfinger Personal Injury Law. And yeah, man, Zarar, it's always good to have you on the show. It's great that you're just like a playoff. You're like our Dante Jones. We signed you at the eve of the playoffs, and now you're in these playoff games, baby.
He's a ringer, man.
You are a ringer, man. And then Sam, shout out to you. The morning coffees.
The afternoon. I like how those morning coffees are getting later and later in the day. They go mid-morning coffee.
I had a lunchtime coffee the other day.
Late evening coffee, right before the bed coffee. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. Game 2, baby. I mean, look, the Raptors always lose game 1. We can make some adjustments. This sounds exactly like the Bucks game 1 podcast. Anyway, all right. Thanks to all you guys for listening, and we'll be back on Wednesday.